to our cause. How much simpler all this would be if only it was so. Still, I cannot blame you for struggling against me. What reason have... But now, with Brachus Rex nearly risen, there's little more you can do to hinder me. Perhaps for the better. When we first met on the beaches of Sicile, I underestimated you. That blunder has cost me dearly. Still, after all, you need not know more than this. The end is coming. The end of sorrow. The end of pain. Those who oppose me oppose peace itself. And here I thought you'd seen it yourself. Tell me, what is the imp historian doing, if not begging you to divert the void? So, you're familiar after all. You know as well as I that the void is coming. In fact, if I am very precise, it's already here. But you need not be afraid. The void, I have chosen a dark and dangerous path. But I vow that those my only wish for all of Revellon is the Brachus Rex was the forefather of our cause. The original. Wouldn't you like follow me?
Switch. Perhaps it has something to do with opening that hatch. A switch much like the first. Could there be more? Many to go. Of scraping in the main hall. strange magic here. How will we deactivate it?
That cultist must have used some kind of key or spell to get through.
Source Hunter! Ha. By the health of the Seven, you're here. There may yet be hope. Perhaps you remember me as a healer. I'm beyond redemption now. But King Brachus... I've done a terrible thing. I've raised a mad king from beyond the grave. I imagined so very foolishly that I'd be able to extract an ancient secret from him. But with a simple flash of his arcane magic, I was finished. I'll tell you all I know, Source Hunter. Resurrected, revived. The king lives, but not as the man he once was. He retains the mark of death upon him, confess the last of the mad source. It was during this Brachus was a I promised to I was given a great stone. A bloodstone. The conduit said it would imbue Brachus with life enough. My failures are so many. The ghoul that guards the lighthouse, the Barrel of Bones, the undead Source Hunter. Uncurse her name. She claims to be a link between her goddess and It was she who showed what could turn any soft soul towards wickedness. My weakness was love, and the conduit had shown me how to raise skeletons and zombies from their graves. But what I craved was something far more rare. A second life. A true second life for my wife, Malia. Now the conduit's promise seemed simple. A secret for a secret. I'd tell her how to break the soul forge. And you can defeat the unholiness I've raised, Source Hunter. You can save the countless innocents that will pet.
So Theleron believed that by unleashing these monsters, he'd learn the secret to resurrecting his beloved wife.
Only a true devil would cause such destruction for a bit of fancy necromancy.
He'd feed sight seal to the hellhounds.
And the children shall burn. And torment light. Here now, one who comes to watch the spectacle, to see the sovereign of the source ascend again. Oh. But how long has it been? A fable I may have become as time dragged on, but a fact I am. Once more, I embraced source. I drank it, made it put on as a mast. Too many. Not a thing. There was a woman once that went by that name. Oh, my sister dearest, Cassandra. And the reason for my resurrection, O simplest of spirits, is that I was destined to be. Were it not for the vainglorious fools that raised me now, it would have been another, perhaps wiser being that would have done so in time. And time is of no matter, only to be eternally. A woman seeks my secret, for her soul is entwined with another's. Yes, where once they... A source hunter. No matter. They still smell like you do, by the by. Your brother and sister hunt. Alas, that there were... Yes.
I've got my eyes on the prize. Treasure! Ooh!
Source Hunter, is it safe? Have you done it? Please tell me that you have sent magnificent. Oh, truly wondrous. I feel like I was so fearful. Petrified almost in the knowledge that I'm a wizard hunter. And that means I've seen many centuries pass me by. I was once under Brachus's thrall, bound to him by perfidious magic. Life was an endless cycle of servitude. As you can imagine, I was afraid beyond all measure that the fiend would enslave us all once more. But he hasn't, and he never will. You have foiled one of Leandra's vile designs, that much is certain. But it is therefore imperative that we find her sister Ikara. As you've learned from the accursed duo that I will vouch. What I do know is that she lives in a cabin deep in Lakula Forest to the north. If anywhere, that is where I advise your travel. So you have heard of her? Yes. I knew Cassandra. She was a sweet girl when we met. Hardly a woman yet. We were fast friends in those days. Aye, more than... He remorselessly and relentlessly sought ways to cheat death. Cassandra and he were soul-forged, so he knew that if she would die, and so he turned her into a lich. Turned her into a creature neither living nor dead, so that he could break the soul forge without destroying himself in the process. Giving the matter no further thought, he rid his sister of her humanity, so as to rid himself of a spell that could threaten him. Such a man was Brachus. As your swords and spells have demonstrated, though, to this world, I don't know. When the Source Hunters besieged Brachus's castle, I sought only to escape. Yes, I longed for freedom. Very well, Hunter. My...
That's it. Brachus Rex is dead. The way he spoke about our forebears was horrific. I wonder how many Source Hunters had to die before the Source King was deposed.
He was a man utterly corrupted by Source. Don't waste a moment thinking on his crimes, especially not when we have a world of work ahead.
How can I but think of them when...
It is strange, Source Hunter. I have heard many tales of Brachus Rex, the radiant... How can it be that the stories sang him a hero when he was in fact an evil tyrant? You cannot think that all the stories of old are fiction. What about Threes? What about Amira? And the cycles of the Elven bards? If they are false, if they are written by a wise man such as Jarrett would not have bothered with propaganda, as you say. He's a man of learning.
The king is dead. He came close though, Brat. As a ghoul, no more was he reborn. Exactly the type of base necromancy. Yes, well, there is much to overcome still. By Parbatha's silver talons must we linger. I can tell you if you wish. More prey await.
Heard any good tales, my friend?
The rabbit gives you a forlorn look. It seems as if it wants to speak to you. The rabbit nods and points to the northeast. The cat that got its tongue must have won.
Hail, Source Hunter. Good to see you've reached Lakula Forest. There were times when I came to this neck of the woods just to whiff its wholesome air. It surrounds us here, like an Even so, it's plain as day to the east, all about Ikara's cabin. Immaculate's beset it. No doubt under If she has ordered such thorough defenses of her sister's cabin, we may be certain that whatever lies within will be a prize more precious than butter-baked plaice. That means Ikara herself must be there, Hunter. And it is essential that you find her. Ha! Zigzags would see you dash rather than mosey. Leandra and her cronies may be lunatics all, but they're far from brainless. So be wary, Hunter, and be safe.
sprang to life.
Strange magic indeed. Perhaps we're nearing the white.
Ah, the Source Hunter. It is my greatest pleasure to... Yes, the greatest known threat to Rivellon. Ah, the High Council. Still, Source Hunter. I am sworn on my life to guard this quarantine. I serve a higher authority than yours, and will not waver in my duty. If you're certain, I suppose I can trust the word of one of your esteemed order. Go on then, Source Hunter.
Something isn't right here. It could be an ambush.
Addressing us? Oh, somehow we doubt that very much. Have you ever seen the Moth King's silver spoon? Nearly microscopic? No, Source Hunter. We do. It's quite a lovely sort of. Then again, here's what we propose. We've a fresh batch of 3 brain teasers hot off our thinking caps. Perhaps, if you can answer them correctly, we might find you spirited enough to entrust with the barrier's deepest, darkest secrets. But it isn't all fun and games. We hardly offer second chances to the beriddled. If you give us a single false answer, we'll clam up like morning glories at midnight. So, do you have what it takes? This is better news than the Orc Queen misplacing her thumbscrew. But enough delays. Let us begin. The ravenous brute tore down my chartreuse gown, ripped out my silken hair by its roots, wrenched my children from me, and fed me to the hogs. Who am I? Ha! We knew we weren't to be bested. There's no riddler among us like a fungus. You were a kindly dunce, but we're afraid our gills are sealed nonetheless.
An ear of corn.
That's right. An ear of corn fits perfectly.
Bravo, bravo, bravissimo! An ear of corn indeed. Can you imagine a sheep in a chartreuse gown? A pumpkin with silken hair? The fantasies of a fool. Now, on to our second riddle. And this one's sure to stump you. I cannot lie, I cannot lay, but only lie. Who am I?
A stone.
That's right. A stone.
You've done it again! I'm thrilled. I'm amazed. I'm liable to present the very last riddle. This one will blow you out of your stockings, so hold on tight. I've a neck as long as twice the width of a toad's tail.
as many eyes as half the number of seasons per annum. I'm known to cause hurricanes in the Far East merely by taking off 2 minutes too late. Who am I?
A weather vane.
That's right. A weather vane fits perfectly.
Ha! We knew we weren't to be bested. Very good. The last person who tried to solve that riddle puffed away in a small impish huff, mumbling about space-time. But not you. You stuck it out until the very end, you crafty little so-and-so. So, what would you like to know? One thing we know for certain. This barrier doesn't belong here. The wizard Maradino knew as much when he started poking around here. He developed a spell to remove it, but his fancy was caught elsewhere before he bothered to implement it. Down the spell dropped, and up we scooped it. Unfortunately, we aren't quite human enough to get it to work. But you've proven yourself just the right sort of clever, sort of intrepid sort of person we'd love. We thought you'd never ask. Some call her the Guardian of Lukul, and we do hope she's not in murder. That doesn't sound like her at all, no. Much more interested in patching things up than tearing them down, that one. Then again, it's hard to tell on what stalk somewhere in her cabin, as far as we know. The last we saw her, she and her apprentice Almina were rushing inside, whispering to one another. They seemed rather anxious. Perhaps they knew that those Immaculates were on their trail. A group of them followed some time after and erected the barrier around the cabin. We haven't seen the White Witch or Almina since.
In the name of the goddess, halt! Who goes there? In that case, you can rest easy, Hunter. There is no source to be found here. Only... Why, it's Silver Glen, of course. We have traded the search for... She showed it, but I suggest you... Beware of the lost ones
seem to be friendly enough.
At least they don't have that distinct underside of a bridge aroma.
Better that than reeking of fresh blood.
Why don't you stay a while, darling?
Tell me, sweetie, do you have sunburn, or are you always this one?
What can I get you, hun?
I'd kill for a beer.
Coming right up.
Sweetheart, or if I had a
Praise
star
the
for every
goddess,
time you
I
brighten my
passed the
day,
trial.
I'd have a gallon
Friend,
in my hand.
this is most excellent news. Welcome to the Immaculate Fold.
Yes, I can feel the goddess's vigor coursing through my very
You
veins.
believe in the gods, baby. Because you're the answer to all
Over
my
here, sweet cheeks. Oh, I'm aching to share a moment together.
Tell me, sweetie, do you have someone, or are you always this hot?
The degenerates here claim they have been cleansed. But I can still smell the stink of persisting putrescence wafting from their grimy flesh. I can tell you if you wish, but you'd have to listen to the tale of my life. Because my future, such as it is yes. Let's get this over with. Once upon a time, I was a king. I was a young king. I knew my life, and so I had. But then one day, a young Hiraka. Oh, and how. And yet, it was but none of their potions took effect. It went like this. I did still their kin. Like mosquitoes in the night. It had to be. I drew forbidden symbols. Hiraka. Never had I known. After such it smiled. Of course it did. I think you know the answer to that question, Hunter. But I've said enough for now. Yes. Let's get this over with. More prey. Oh.
Well. So our very own demon hunter once dabbled in the so-called darkest of arts himself.
A man so utterly betrayed and dying will grasp at any straw.
Neither can I. Clearly his
I son of chaos and eternal night. One thing we know for certain. This barrier doesn't belong. Down the spell dropped, and up we scooped it. Unfortunately, we aren't quite human enough to get it to work. But you've proven yourself just the right sort of clever, sort of intrepid sort of person we'd love to entrust such a secret to. We thought you'd never ask. What would you like to know? Murder? Then again, somewhere in a group of them.
Maragino had some talent mixed in with all that hot air.
He certainly knew how to remove magical barriers, if nothing else.
The place seems to have been searched in a hurry.
Searched? I'd say ransacked is more apt.
Ooh!
I've spotted something interesting.
A beautiful cave. But who knows to what dark purpose the witch might have turned it?
Keep your senses sharp for any sign of source.
Could the Immaculates have slaughtered so many beasts?
I don't doubt it. The question is, why?
Look at this. Look what these Immaculates have wrought. But I will avenge these animal spirits in kind.
It's an insult to the natural order. Death without purpose. There is no meaning behind it.
Did that puddle just address us?
Either that, or our judgment's been handled by mushroom spores.
You've killed the butchers, but you were too late to save the rest of them. Too late to save the Guardian. I am the last alive. Can it be? I'm Pringer, one of the many wounded creatures the Guardian rescued from the forest and brought here to heal. I thought we'd always be safe in her custody, but now I'm alone here. Oh, you mean you don't know? Cloaked figures, evil ones, came for the Guardian. They moved quick after they had got the humans call her the Guardian, created one of the cloak where they took her, a humble Borg.
Do you see the lake below? Please, come and speak to me there. I have so much.
I've spotted.
Meet me at the lake, Source Hunter. Do not delay.
Arms for the immaculate way!
Rather like a lightning rod, aren't you? Seven, have mercy on your soul.
That's more than enough snooping about for you, lost one.
No glory in this death.
Attack of the arrow surge!
What's this I've spotted? I've spotted something.
So you found her chest. I'm sure she would have wanted you to have it. Come to the lake. I'll reveal all.
To look around. This place is infested with two reasons. Second, Leander's a choir. She stormed away. Ikara! I escaped her. I begged her for a hundreds of... And that is just where they be! Will you go then? To the lake then, friend? You're telling...
Arthurius, what have we here? It seems you failed to sniff out one of the witch's little friends. Luckily for us, the fox knew better. That's immaculate business and none of yours. Though I'd think that taking a peek at this sad little source hunter. Even worse than you say you are no might as well be the will you now, Arthurius?
No glory in this death.
Heaven have mercy on your soul!
Addresses you. It seems to emanate from the lake's depths.
By the morning mist, you've made it. Time is short, Source Hunter. You must come. I must tell you, the Guardian is here. Here in this strange plane. I am Almina. Friend to the White Witch. But we peaceful souls were attacked, chased, and she was dragged into this strange dimension. Part of fairy, it must be. Cold, Yet, I will reveal... The cultist who captured her. They had some kind of spell. It turned this very lake into a rift leading into this realm.
The spell has worked. But how can we be sure we're not walking into an ambush?
We've made it this far. I doubt whatever lies beyond that rift can stop us now.
Ooh, quite the chill about this place, isn't there?
We've warm thoughts. Sorcerer's blood, a well-cast fire spell, and a mug of glow wine when we're through this mission.
Yes! Through this chatty puddles, and now beseeching flames?
This Almeida must be an elementalist.
Meek creatures have deserved this fate.
Ah, dead imps.
Oh, the laws of the wilds are fair.
Not here, Source
This is
Hunter.
merely carnage.
Turn back. Continue forth, Source Hunter.
You're nearly there.
It's locked. Well, what's this I've spotted? Meet your demise! Unless my eyes deceive me, those are mechanical roosters.
They sure didn't skimp on their strange sentinel system around.
Source Hunter. You arrived. Ah, by the blessed stars, you've arrived. Almina, by name. Apprentice to the Guardian. You're so... I came to her that I may... But dark fiends invaded her sanctuary. She sensed they'd come. Sensed the danger that hunted her. They took her here. She is a protector of the weak. A champion. That surprised... even me. Of course. Whatever lies, a woman such as she may... That, I know not. A strange dimension indeed. But the elements here. Fairy is a realm of all elements. Please. And tell her...
Spotted by a statue. Something must be sentinels. No glory in this death. Ending darkness. Die, vermin!
Those mechanical rats had explosives strapped to their backs.
What an utterly impish thing to do. I feel uneasy here. I'd better keep my weapon at the ready.
Seems this hidden switch controls yonder gate. Automatons have madness in their eyes. What is happening in this realm?
By the gods, what infernal weather is this?
We'll freeze to death if we don't find fire or shelter.
are you? What are you doing here? You must be mad to venture out in this storm, unless you have a very good reason indeed. You're a stupid little moth then, for this flame is about to devour you.
Oh, the prophecy needs.
One bullet is never enough.
Meet your demise!
Intruder spied.
Seven, have mercy on your soul. Missed.
Intruder spied.
Seven, have mercy on your soul. That force field looks impassable.
The force field brims with 1,000 distant voices. 1,000 sniggers resound, but nothing further.
Doesn't seem to be working. What did I do wrong?
The force field brims.
Some of the Immaculates perished in the storm, it would seem.
So much for their goddess's promises.
Those elementals are battling one another.
And I have the feeling they don't intend to spare us either.
right, engineers.
You can't keep still.
This is the end! For you! One, two, three, stun!
I spy. Blinded eye. What do I spy?
So much blood. Splattered in blood.
Away with you, damned Reaper! Take your scythe to grain, not my soul!
The bane of all.
The humans, they weren't so glad was he with power!
In his fear not.
I believe we've done it. Yes, its power is incomparable. Ah, Source Hunter. I had so hoped to avoid meeting you here. But perhaps we were bound to face one another. You must think me quite the villain, mustn't you? The things you've seen. Without the proper context, I can imagine it's all... And I suppose you must have pictured me, some bloodthirsty mad woman, intent on what, I wonder? Power? The truth is rather less simple than the imagination would conceive. Surely, the sight of a bit of blood doesn't turn your stomach, Source Hunter. No, if only my dear Immaculates took the all the same, these deaths were death. I've nearly forgotten the meaning of the word, what it means to most. But I am no monster, Source Hunter. Like you. But I have also discovered that weeping was senseless. Like infants, we squall, clinging to a day that is not ours to keep. What you see as slaughter is, if you know as well as I, the enlightening capacity of these stones, Source Hunter. I've heard tell that you've been zapping the life from precious star stones, and that you are bolstered by the power within them. Your experiences are unique in all of Rivellon's history, but you are hardly the only player in this story. As Starstone enlightens you, its child, Bloodstone, enlightens something of my own creation. Barbarism. Quite a chauvinistic term to apply to something one hardly comprehends, but I will concede the power I intend to bring to bear upon Rivellon is no more divine than your... We are free agents, Source Hunter, all of us. So you have seen it? Yes, it's as I thought. You know as well as I that the void... Tut-tut, Source Hunter. You and I both know I could hardly trust you with such information. Though if you continue stomping around in my wake, you're sure... And here I believed I was starting to reach you. My foolish... But I do believe we agree on one particular point, Source Hunter. Enlightened ones, your conduit calls, your ultimate purpose. Heed the void's call. Offer your souls to the demons that beckon you. 1, 2, 3, run! The Bloodstone is mine, and the
Die, vermin! Another Starstone, another piece of ourselves perverted towards Leandra's will.
Soon she'll have desecrated our very souls.
Nothing Leandra might do could shake our...
feel a great sorrow for the Red Woman. She seems to seek right doing, but her means are bloody and terrible. When she realizes her mistakes, her suffering will be great. I very much hope for this.
The force field brims with...
With this incantation, we can pass the force field that bars the way into the castle.
The force field brims with the voices sound pleased, then grow distant and evanesce.
There thou art! The upstart that seeketh to upset the harmony of Heimerheim! Why hast thou ventured here, Avatar of Man? Why dost thou seek the downfall of Lord, nay, King Boreas? So thou seeketh but another human, a worm of no import. But though thou tramplest through my realm and besiegest my fortress, farewell! I have marcheth to the gallows. Heimerheim drawn forth from freeze and frost. How they mocketh me, my brother seasons. Thou art the ugliest quarter, they saith to my frozen face. Thou art the blemish of the year. Fool that thou art, my brothers. Winter is the jewel of the seasons. And now it is the ruler of time and Heim! Heimerheim! 'Tis easy when thou hast but to wish upon a well, and the generous pit delivereth unto thee the power of chaos. The stone of stars, no more doth she ask of me. The stone and blood of imps. In return, strong are they, these immaculates, stronger than thee. For thy wield the powers of darkest demons. And stronger than thee I am too. The Lord of all the seasons, the ruler of all the elements, the one king of eternal winter! I, Avatar, I! Thou hast traveled far and delveth deep into the heart of winter, but here thou shalt find thine end. Ice preserveth life and...
Ooh!
Oh, hero, 'tis I, the Summer King. Wholly do I... Hey, quit shoving! Knock it off, will you? I'm trying to... Out of the way! It's Lurian's turn! Well, I thought the day would never come. Thanks for giving old Carrot Face the Great Melt. We and the Earth Kingdom owe you a tremendous... What? Well, you'll have to wait your turn. Oh, for the love of all that's igneous, go ahead then, if it'll stop your owling.
I'll answer that. We overheard a crafty... Better the crackle of...
Oh, cover your ears here.
The elemental form...
Sister, we are free! And who is this? Can it be that a frail mortal human faced and bested our own sleeping warriors? Ah, but this is no mortal, I see. Strange you'd take the guise of a source hunter. But I shall of course honor your chosen form. Indeed, I suppose I should have expected. Boreas always did dance uncomfortably close to the dark arts.
No, like fools, we waited for his pride. We, and with us all, a white witch. Yes. If she were an important charge, he would have most certainly kept her in his innermost prison chamber. Moria's penitentiaries are impregnable. Iberheim serves as Faery's prison realm for a reason. Our brother was the most exquisitely gifted jailer in the land. With his ability to bring charges in and out of his prison at will, he never needed to build a single door leading in or out. As I recall, however, some years ago there was a shocking... I am King Sewer of the Sun, but something... When our brother called the element... When we arrived, however, it was not Boreas who greeted us, but a dark figure. A woman with a stare like blackest fire. In her scarf she held a demonic power, the likes of which I listened closely. She gave him us.
Striking it rich!
Careful, I spotted a trap. mustn't have used it correctly.